let's add some furniture. I'll look for a table. And then you can drag the table onto the floor. Now, there are a lot of drawbacks with this system because you really have to know what you're looking for before you go and look for it. So we'll find a chair, bring a chair down, and we have a tiny, sad little house. We should probably also put a light in here. So if we go to main room, right click on it, insert a light, it gives us a light right away. Put it on the table if we can, and then you can go over to the object inspector and you can change all the properties of it. So you can change the color intensity, you can change the actual color of it. So we'll make it a green light, and you can change the light name in order to keep them organized, and you can change the type of light. So you can have an animated light. If it's a fire, it'll flicker. You can have a spotlight, which is a directional light, and you can have an ambient light. You should only have one ambient light per area, so we'll just put this as an ambient light. Okay, and now if we go over to the main room, or sorry, the new area tab, and go to the object inspector, we'd want to change the layout name. We'll call it the just room is fine. You can change other things about it. You can change the right now it's rebinding the light map data to a new layout, so it takes it a moment to think about it. It's one thing with this tool set. It's a lot more manageable than Neverwinter Nights 2 in a lot of respects, but it still is pretty laggy and it does crash pretty often. So if you keep scrolling down here, there's a lot of things that you can change. It's a lot like Neverwinter Nights 2 in this respect, where you can change the atmosphere, the weather, and many other things for just the zone, the level. So now we need to add a startup point. If you go to the top and you set up start point, you just click on that and just click somewhere on your area. You can spin this around, it doesn't really matter what direction it is. And then we're going to generate the walk mesh. So go up to the top and find generate pathfinding for active area. And it will show you where people can walk and where they can't walk. So the green they can walk on, the red they can't. So that's pretty simple. That's the basic stuff for making a room. Each room should have a ceiling, but we won't go over that. It's done just the same as a floor. You can also add items, like we could put a goblet on this table or something like that. In order to share it, you go up to the top and you want to post to local, and that will post everything that you have to your local files. It's a little complicated though, so be sure you read a more detailed tutorial when it comes to that. Okay, so now we want to look at how to make a standard dialogue in the Dragon Age toolset. So if you go to the conversation tab of your palette window and you double click on Oghren main, you can just search for Oghren_main, and then you can go under and select hide folders, and that will pick him up right away. So I'm going to check out this file so that I can make changes to it. You can see at the top it says writable copy, changes can't be saved. So the way that this works is very similar to Neverwinter Nights 2, where it reads from the top down. So the very first thing that it looks at is this first line, and if you look at the bottom, it has a description. The description is what is seen by the player, and it says belches. Description tags around it means that it's going to be italicized and it's going to be an emote, basically. You can change different things like skills and languages, but you don't have to do that right now. And we set it to have the listener as the player, and that specifies that the next response will be the player. So belches is going to happen if you look down here at the dialogue, at all these tabs. The tab next to dialogue is plots and scripting. If we go to the condition, it's going to draw from this file. We can change the file by hitting the ellipses. We can go to any of these and select any number of different files that have different flags in them. We'll keep it as this for now. Right now it's checking to see if we've done the main plot at Arl Amon's estate. If we have, then he's just going to burp whenever we talk to him. If we haven't, it's going to skip this node and go to the next one. And it checks to see if Ogren is sleeping during this one situation at the broken circle. If he is, then we go into this dialogue tree, and if not, then we go to the next one. And sometimes the scripting comments really help out, especially if you don't really want to read through everything else that's going on. You can try and figure out where your new dialogue line is going to be if you're going to add something or something like that. So let's say that let's look at this one because it's got an A and a C here, which means it has an action and the condition. So this is going to be said only if the condition is met. If you go down to plots and scripting, in the event that when Ogren leaves Orzammar, if that's true, this is going to play, and it also will run this one line just this one time when you talk to him. Your three options are going to be, is everything alright, and all this other stuff. And this one that has an action, if you say, we don't have a moment, let's go, it sets it so the action has him disapproving of what you say, and you lose a little bit of approval with him. So approval for Ogren is decreased by a very low amount. So if we say, is everything alright, and talk to him for a little bit, we get down to one of these that's a gray line, like in Neverwinter Nights 2. It's a link to another part of the conversation. So if we jump to it, we can see the ending of it. And we can keep jumping until we find out where this goes. So here's another action and a condition. If you say, yes, I remember that feeling, it passes, then down here you only even see that line if you're a dwarf. If you say that and you're a dwarf, if you're a dwarf, you see that line, if you select that line, then it will increase your approval rating with Ogren by a very low amount.